Hello. A lot of people say lower your car. I say opposite. You need to raise it. Woo! What is up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Fabtown. I have done something fucking terrible, and I have to come clean. I came here yesterday, and in a fit of fabrication fury, I did a lot of fabricating, and I didn't film any of it. And I am really fucking sorry. Let me recap though before I get into what we're gonna be doing today. It's a long list, so prepare yourself. As you can see, the manifold is installed. The intercooler piping is in and welded up. I used pretty much all the pieces out of the original JZX kit and then reworked them. Like I cut this Goretti flange and then I upsized this to 3-inch. And then I took a coolant line that was on there. That was like a Goretti coolant line. Didn't quite fit the 2J right, so I cut that. And then I went ahead and did this monstrosity, which I wish I had filmed now because it's super cool. I cut the side of the housing and I put 2 pipes pretty much off the housing, and then I made these wastegate pipes that come right over to here. And the idea is that once I make the dumps for them, they're going to come out of this little hole right here where the factory intercooler piping would have gone and out the bumper. The reason I did that instead of going like through the fender and stuff like that is, or even through the hood, these hoods and fenders are really hard to get. However, the bumpers aren't as hard to get, and that one that's on there is a OE bumper, and it's pretty haggard. So I'm not super worried about cutting holes in it. Didn't want to, I don't want to cut this car up, especially the sheet metal. A bumper is kind of whatever. I could get another one. Yeah, so I went ahead and did a lot of stuff. Just getting that manifold in and installed and everything was hours and hours of work. We are going to be running this turbo. Oh, that's the other thing. I totally lied. I changed my mind. I talked to Chappie, and he pretty much talked me out of going with that S362, this one. This big boy right here. He talked me out of it, and he had a good point. I'm not going to be going standalone ECU on this anytime soon. I'm going to be running the factory computer and everything like that. And that size turbo, that S252, is going to be perfect for keeping a stock computer. I have seen some people run like S366s and other bigger Borg Warners on there with the stock computer and everything like that and stock ejectors, but we want to be able to drive this thing and drive it hard. So we're going to go with the smaller turbo. It has a similar spec housing, like AR wise. Obviously the turbine size is way smaller. If you guys are building turbo cars that are like something under 500 horsepower and like anything less than 3 liters or less, I would definitely look into those BorgWarner S257s and S252s, SXEs, because they're the shit ahead, like I said, and made the intercooler piping. It goes a little bit different routing. It doesn't come straight out of there and then through here and then down around. I went down through there, and as you can see, I'm draining this because I missed a spot on this one weld and it's been dripping all night. I got this thing to like idle. I am gonna have to wire up the O2 sensor today to see if that helps with it idle down. And then while I was digging around in my bin of shit, I found this throttle cable bracket. We're gonna be reworking this coolant line, maybe working on a downpipe today and exhaust, because I don't want to have something temporary, just want to drive it. I was originally gonna just run this one that we made for Brandon for a second to see if I could get it to idle down, but I think I'm just gonna go ahead and make a full-on downpipe for it. And the other big thing, trans gear oil. It's got to have gear oil. So went with the Lucas 7590, which I've had some really good luck with the Lucas products in the past. I'm hoping that you know, it holds up really good for this project. But first things first, we got to get that coolant line off and then fix that leak in there, which should only take a couple seconds. But then we can bleed this coolant out again and maybe hear this thing run. The JZX is running. You guys missed a lot. I am very sorry, but thank God for 2020. Do some burnouts. Woo!
Right back to the video.
Fireworks.
Fuck it. Send it. Send it.
Who? Whoops.
Buy yourself a King of Close Enough t-shirt because I need Charles to make me a manifold.
I also need him to pay me.
For what?
T-shirts. She's ready to work on cars. What's up, everybody? Welcome back. Today we are going to be covering what has happened over the last couple days. We had our New Year's party. As you can see, there is a considerable amount of rubber in there. I'll be sure to insert some clips of what went down and how fucking outrageous it was. We are going to be working next door on the lift, and I will fill you in a second why we're going to be over there. Jade's going to drink as much wine as she can in the time that takes me to do all this. Drunk Jade Vision. DJV. Oh, I should put that in the bottom. DJV Cam. Alright, it's up on the lift. Jade went ahead and drove it up there. Thank you, Jade. Alright. So, you know, when you're doing fat burnies, sometimes your clutch decides to just come the fuck out of the bell housing, apparently. This is all not supposed to be open, and whatever this jagged hunk of metal is not supposed to be there. So yeah, I was over doing the shop party thing, doing a burnout, and actually somebody got it on film of the clutch exploding. I'm not really sure why it exploded, because it definitely shouldn't have with just a burnout. But I guess we'll find out today. Luckily, my neighbor, like I said, let me use the shop and let me use the lift. So shout out to them, thank you. And yeah, Jade's just gonna get drunk and I'm gonna pull this transmission. All right, we gotta get these drive shaft bolts out and get the drive shaft out first. Luckily, my stellarly mounted exhaust is not in the way, so that's killer. Honey, don't look at things.
It's rusted.
It's a Japanese car.
It's
They're all rusted. As rust falls into your flexible wine pussy. That's what I'm calling it. Flexible wine pussy. Just like that. The split in half bell housing is out. It's actually extremely easy to remove a transmission when you don't have to get to the top bolts because they're not connected to anything. So, as you can see, the top bolts are still in, and the bell housing is completely severed in half. And so I just literally just had to shake the transmission out, and it fell right out. The input shaft on the trans does look a little dodgy. It's got a pretty good amount of movement. I'm pretty sure it's not supposed to have that much movement. Other than that, the slave cylinder actually looks pretty good. And the adapter plate looks fine, which isn't surprising because it's a giant hunk of aluminum. There's not really much to go wrong on that. So now I'm going to get this bell housing the rest of the way off. Can't really see me. I'm going to get the rest of this bell housing off and then inspect the clutch and mainly look at the flywheel, because that's the point where I think it failed. I think the flywheel failed and then it fucking just ripped itself apart. So, all right, so this is some of the carnage. I originally thought that this was the problem, that this like little play that this has back and forth, you can't really see it because I'm holding it one-handed, but these are like sprung because they're a dual mass flywheel. I went and looked at this other one we had in the shop, and this one does the same thing, so this was probably fine. However, this clutch disc looks like it absolutely just shit its fucking pants. Like, looks like it just straight up exploded. And when it did that, it blew up the pressure plate into pieces. So maybe it was just a clutch failure. I mean, in the process, it fucked up a lot of shit. So the bell housing, like I showed you before, is split in two pieces. I got the other half off. And this input shaft, like I said, looks like it's got an excessive amount of play in there. I definitely don't think it's supposed to move that much. So that's probably bad. I'm gonna have to try and find a trans quick to swap all that stuff out. So I don't know how long this thing's gonna be down for. Hopefully not that long. But I'm glad that we got it all out, and I'm glad that I got to do it on the lift. So, as you can see, the rest of it looks pretty good. This is just some clutch disc dust from the rest of the clutch exploding. The pilot bearing that's in here actually looks fine, so that's good, I guess. And it doesn't look like it cracked the oil pan or did anything funky. Like, that all looks intact, which I'm super stoked about, because, you know, replacing a motor along with a trans because it blew up would have really sucked. Looks like this rear main seal probably could get redone too, so might just go ahead and order one of those. But I think that's gonna be it for this video. I probably should have filmed taking it out more, but yeah, since we're gonna be kind of at a stopping point, I thought we were gonna maybe be able to slam the trans back in and swap bell housings, but not gonna happen. So that's gonna be it for this video. I can't wait to see you guys real soon. Hopefully we get some parts squared away quickly and we get this thing back going again. Because I really don't want to wait a shit long time. I don't want to wait a long time to drive this thing again. I was super stoked to drive it before, and I really want to get it back on the road. So, hope to see you guys again real soon. Say bye, Jade. Bye. Bye. Bye.
Next time I see you, I'll make sure you see me